welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Leo. I'm here with a new commentator, Beyond Sadistic, and this is the Legacy Fight Night for round two. How you doing, homie? I'm doing pretty good. Got myself a little bit of a drink, and excited for another second round here. This one's gonna go a little bit faster than next round. This last round because we have Prez rocking the good old favorite strawberry shortcake. Yeah, I was about to say the last time this deck was real, I was still reading about it in Scryfall magazine. Oh,
I know why you can't hear me.
sorry everybody. Okay. So we have strawberry shortcake. This is what Prez is known for. To summarize what Beyond Sadistic was saying there, this is the OG Painter build. It ran Painter, it ran the Enlightened Tutor to find it, and also it's got a little bit of boost off of the Karn the Great Creator package. So it's a pretty much a solid build of like artifact paper combo shenanigans. Not the fastest build, but still very consistent. And
I totally agree
uh,
with that. I'm
oh,
unmuted now.
we got your audio now.
Yeah, that's
Okay, good
that's
to
what I get for
hear.
having a mixer and too many audio sources and cameras and monitors and lights and everything else. I apologize, guys.
Well, I was about to say your setup is phenomenal. You guys have the best setup I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it yet, uh, Beyond Sadistic has a little side gig going on here with his own side stream. You want to plug your side stream?
Yeah, me and my wife do. We are variety streamers. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's from 6 to 9 p.m. Central, and on Saturdays from 3 to 6. So we play Subnautica and Minecraft every once in a while. Tomorrow it'll be Valhalla. It looks like
All
Warcraft.
right.
Yeah.
Here's my pitch for your stream. What if we did a Corey and Ashley as well as the mod team Among Us stream?
There you go. I'd totally be down for that.
You be down for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Of
Chat, would you be down for that?
course they would.
Uh,
Look at all the yeses. Look at all the nods. They're all about it.
yes. That's if it's a popular idea, we might do that for just like a variety a stream.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a
Yeah,
blast.
that'd
Well,
be a really fun time.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree. We'll have to set that up. So, like I was saying before, Prez has been on Strawberry Shortcake since it was cool in the 90s. This has become the Prez special. This is his painter build. It's got a lot of fun tricks and whatnot. I think Goblins is going to just run him down, though. Champagne on
yeah.
Goblins, this is going to be fast.
So importantly here, this build is still the port wasteland build. It's not the turbo muxus that we've seen. Hayne, are the players good to go? Have they?
Yeah, it looks like Prez is going to keep 7, Champagne most to 5. So
Oof,
yeah,
oof, oof, oof. Oof. Yeah, that's harsh. But yeah, this is pretty much the standard build, 4 Goblin Lackey, and then, build the rest around it.
yep,
And honestly, I love this build of goblins. It has become like the standard staple of the meta. And finishing up with the article, I mean, it's still one of the best tempo-based aggro decks in the format here. The meta is very much around goblins, elves, death and taxes, stuff
yeah.
like that.
Creature
Big
builds.
representation here.
Yeah, a lot of people like to turn stuff sideways, which is super cool because that's honestly the most fun you can have in Magic.
Okay. Yeah, and Champagne starting off with the Skirk Prospector.
Yep.
So the Skirk Prospector is important in the Muxus builds now because of the fact that it can turn a pile of Goblin War Marshals into a Muxus.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the greatest things that Goblin has, and this is by far my favorite build of Goblins. Granted, Turbo Muxus and Snoop combo and everything else and whatnot, those are great and they have their place. But this is your old fashioned, pre-modern style Goblins with fancier, better, bigger, shinier tricks. This is
Yeah.
this is here to beat you down. This is here to do it fast. It's got so much evasion built in with removal, with goblins, so much power, so much utility. It's really just a house.
Yeah, munitions expert, goblin chain whirler,
Yep.
all of those are just massive, and of course the one goblin trash master, which is really good in this matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be
Uh,
really, really great because that's going to be what he's probably going to want to lean to, especially that he's got matrons and can tutor for what he wants.
yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it's one of those. Oh, that is my work phone. Give me one
Uh-oh.
second.
Yeah, no
That's not
problem.
good.
So it looks like he is going to tutor a crater maker here. So that is going to be a pretty darn good card. I'm going to throw the tag over here, even though everybody knows more than likely he named goblins, but just to be correct. So that crater maker is really going to make quick work of whatever artifact he's going to want to remove. Prez being so heavily vested in the artifact game, he's really going to want to keep every bit that he can. But the nice thing with Prez's build, being in a rich strawberry shortcake recruiter build, he can tutor for basically whatever he wants, whatever he's looking for. And with the amount of removal that Prez has, most decks are, have a certain amount of removal that they run for. But as soon as a painter comes down, then he's got the ability to use all his elemental blasts, his red blasts, everything that he wants to be able to use those for removal, which is pretty much going to be key here if he can keep a painter on the table. Having a crater
Ooh,
maker.
and here's the combo though.
Yep.
We see we have enough off the City of Trader plus the Lotus Petal for the activation,
Yep.
and that looks like it might be GG's.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, hey, how? I thought the. Why don't you just kill him?
Well, because he probably wants to wait and see what he's going to do here.
The
He can do it in
grind. Oh, it's
response.
3 mana activate. It's 3 mana
Oh, yeah.
activate. Sorry.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, not 1 mana to
So
activate.
that crater maker, I don't think Perez would have played into this without having a backup plan. Having a
Well,
Lotus Petal in
importantly
hand,
here,
he can red blast. Oh, never mind, it's going to resolve. I was going to say he could red blast that crater maker
Crater Maker does not kill
because
the
it's blue.
permanent because it only kills destroy target colorless non-land permanent.
Yep, and they're all blue
Oh, the
now.
big brain.
Yep.
They're all blue.
Yep.
The big egg brain.
So he's going to attack with his matron. And I'm losing track of life totals here. I apologize.
Looks like it's
Prez is going down to
16
16, yeah.
16 and 20, yeah.
Streaming and
Oh,
commentating at the same time. I apologize. Yeah, Crater Maker here with Painter on the table is nothing. So
yeah. That's
and then
that's
he's just going
wild.
to scoop him out.
Yeah, that was I didn't even think about that, but I've only run into this interaction one time. It was
Mhm.
when Crater Maker was trying to kill my birthing pod,
Right.
but it turns out birthing pod's green,
Mm-hmm. It is a
and it was
colored
just like,
artifact.
yep, it has to hit a colorless permanent.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's game one. Yeah, Prez is just going for the combo as fast as possible.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. So let's talk about sideboards here really quick. On Prez's side, let me pull it up really fast. Prez's list has not changed a whole lot. However, his sideboard is an Engineered Plague, 1 Tormod's Crypt, a Grindstone, 4 Lightning Bolt, 1 Pithing Needle, 2 Rebs, Red Elemental Blast, 2 Surgicals, 1 Aethersworn Canonist, 1 Ensnaring Bridge, and 1 Mycoscintillatus. For a lot of these are artifacts because he runs a Karn the Great Creator, so he's got a wish board. What do you see coming in here?
On double check with me real quick. Is that an engineered explosives or an engineered plague in the sideboard?
That is an Engineered Explosives.
Okay, because you said engineer plague, and I was
Oh,
about
did
to be
I?
like, oh,
I apologize. No,
yeah, no
it's an
worries.
EE.
Yeah, it's neat. So, I do like the engineer explosive, but I don't know if that's better at the Karn or bringing in. But what I really like the most out of anything in this sideboard is just the 4 bolts,
Yep.
like 100% every single time.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. That's
1-for-1 removal to hit the key pieces. Like everything else is just meh. Like the red elemental blast once you turn everything blue is cute, but
yep.
honestly, just 4 bolts, call it good.
Right. No, I would totally agree with that. I think in my world, being so easily able to get Painter and put it onto the battlefield, I think I would still put the Elemental Blast in. However, now that Champagne has seen what Strawberry Shortcake is able to do with his deck, Why don't you read off Champagne's sideboard?
Yeah. So with Champagne, we got a one of Caracas,
Hmm.
one of Grafdigger's Cage, one of Lightning Bolt, one of Pithing Needle, two of Pyroblast, one of Red Elemental Blast, two Relic Progenitus, two Surgical Extraction, two Mind Break Trap, and two Pyrokinesis.
Yeah,
So if I remember correctly, yeah. So Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do anything to a Welder.
correct.
So that they don't care about that. Pithing Needle is good. Honestly, that's probably the number one card to bring in, and a Lightning Bolt, and I think that's pretty much all he's got for this matchup.
Well, the interesting thing to take into account also is if a painter's on the battlefield, it turns all the permanents blue. So he can, in response, Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast anything on the
Ooh.
board.
But are you willing to let those permanents just sit in your hand if it's not like on the board right away?
Yeah, but no, but yes, in the same vein that you, if he does get a painter down, which you know he wants to do. So being against goblins, Prez has got to know that, hey, these things are in here. It also allows him to Red Elemental Blast back against another Red Elemental Blast because they're all blue, basically.
Yeah.
So that gives him a way to fight against this on both sides. Now,
Yep.
with Prez knowing that, does he go heavier to a Karn lock? Or, there's a lot of different aspects here that you have to take into account. Yes, they're dead cards,
Honestly,
but there's always that
when it
chance.
comes to the Karn lock, I do like that, but the issue with the Karn lock is when you have decks that can go under your Karn,
Hmm.
that you have one or two 1/1s that you can't check. You kill the Karn, you kill the lock.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I can see going for the Karn lock, but against such small, agile little bastards that goblins are, like it's hard to do that against them. And honestly, hey, I don't see a Karn lock being game over.
No, I would agree with you. Well, it would be a game over if he got the lock down.
Yeah,
However, you can, in response, Red Elemental Blast the Karn
yeah, exactly.
if a painter's
So
on the board.
if a painter's on the board,
Yeah.
it's cute and it's something I like, but honestly, I think with goblins, you just want to disrupt, especially since this is a wasteland, Rashad Port version of goblins.
You're right.
You pretty much want to always just
Mana
disrupt them,
deny.
disrupt them,
Yeah.
and then yeah, go for the win. The backup with the Aether Vial, stuff like that.
Like,
Also, importantly, with Grafdigger's Cage, to bring that up, Tire Papa Smurf, it also stops your Muxus. So, are you
true.
willing to stop your Muxus trigger to stop a welder coming back, a painter coming back off of welder trigger? I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I think Cage is a trap in this matchup. That being said, Cage is okay for Prez.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
it does stop his it does stop one of his, because he has welder and he has both of them.
Welder and engineer, yes.
Yeah. So it does stop one, but it doesn't stop the other because welder trades them and they don't have to be creatures. He can just move artifacts back.
Yeah,
So Cage would not stop that because it's just creature cards.
exactly.
And they're not casting them. So yes, it would slow him down, or it would take off one of his angles of running, trying to goblin engineer or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that it's so cute, but honestly, just stopping the Muxus is just so powerful. Though
Yeah,
Muxus has been such a huge boon for goblins, and I read about this in the article, talking about the reason why Plague Engineer is just so important.
right.
If you're planning on, and I understand some people, like, don't get me wrong, if you are a tribal based player and you hate Plague Engineer, your hate is understandable. It
Yeah,
is a very atrocious card against you. But for the rest of us that don't have answers against that, it is second to none. And the card is so good, and if you are playing black, it needs to be a tool in your list, at least one in the main, because of the fact that if you can get a plague engineer on the board and hold it and keep it alive, that will just ride you to victory. There's so many X1s in this matchup, and yes, Goblins has adapted. Things like, honestly, the Pashalic Mons is amazing
yeah,
because you have Pashalic Mons on the board. You can literally just throw 1/1s into the Plague Engineer to kill it. It's
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
hilarious to watch happen. And also with the adaptation of Slinging Lieutenant, it can kill without having what's it called, like without with Plague Engineer on the board.
Yeah, yeah, it can.
But I mean, decks like this, it's still hard to come back from one or two Plague Engineers.
Yeah, it is. Although the with goblins having so many, I mean, goblins has a lot of built-in removal. In terms of just raw goblin power and through abilities. That I think goblins has an easier way of easier goblins has an easier day dealing with the plague engineer than other tribes do.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than things like elves or merfolk and stuff like that.
Yep. Looks like
And
Lackey's gonna eat a bolt here
yeah, I
for
was
good
gonna say
reason.
if Prez doesn't have the bolt, like it needs to happen.
Which means Prez
And
did
you,
bring bolts in.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you have to because turn one lackey is so necessary.
Yeah. I
Ooh,
agree.
and the Goblin Pile Driver here.
Yep. Because of the fact that it's pro blue. So that would
That's
be if Painter is on the board, that means that that card's not going anywhere.
yeah, this card is very resistant to everything in the Painter matchup, and is honestly actually probably one of your better cards in the Painter matchup.
It's one of the better goblins to begin with, period. I mean,
Oh yeah,
God, the
oh yeah,
Pile Driver is a house. I play pre-modern goblins. Pile Driver is a monster. And
oh
then
yeah.
you can do tricks with Click Slither, and I mean, there's just those two. Awesome.
Yeah, honestly, watching back in the old days when I first learned about Legacy and I'd watch Legacy Goblins go, and honestly, a pile driver in itself is one of the biggest reasons why you played it back in the day. It was a four of.
Right,
Now a little bit less because of the fact that there's other more efficient goblins and this is more just a finisher, but
right.
still it's a great goblin.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And that's just it. There's so many goblins. A lot of goblins deck run 61 cards now in their main deck
Yeah.
just because they don't want to drop. There's
As-
what is the one? Is it a what is the one that they're playing? Or they didn't want to get rid of. It's the 3/1 from Dominaria. Uh,
oh, the
you said it
Chamberlain.
earlier. Yeah, Chain
Chamberlain.
Whirler. Yeah, Goblin Chain Whirler.
Oh, it's such a good card.
Yeah.
Very good card. Oh, and we are seeing a painter here turning everything blue.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh,
really interesting
actually, it's
here
not. He
is
turned everything white
turned everything white.
just because of the simple fact that it allows him. One, it doesn't give it. It his pile driver doesn't have protection from everything anymore. And
Hmm.
two, all he really wants to do with that painter, I'm assuming now, is going to crew the copter. So that's going to be his piece now that he can crew the copter with attack, loot. He can draw cards, see more of his library, but he can still get him with a grindstone because everything's white. He can just
Yeah, exactly. This the looter scooter, it's very powerful. I mean, reason why it's been banned in almost like every single of the modern era formats. Ooh,
yeah. I agree
okay.
with Papa Smurf. He very well could have here. Got two
Okay,
painters on the board.
so we're now seeing layering.
Okay,
So now everything is
white,
red,
white and red.
white and red.
Yep,
So it's an addition to.
correct. So they're red,
Oh,
white, and red. In essence.
okay. Hey, well, okay, Pope, where are you?
What?
But yeah, that the layering of things like the Dryad. What's the
Right
new
of the
Dryad?
Elysian Grove?
Dryad Elysian Grows plus Blood Moon argument
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
just. I remember having this discussion. It was just the same thing that's happening now. It's like, all right, where are the layers going to be with this?
Right.
Okay.
Raz is it or Champagne's at 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Prez is at 15 and Champagne's at 19. Prez is in red.
Oh, Prez is in red. I got him backwards.
Yep.
I apologize, everybody. Pope answered. I am correct.
Yep. Sorry to doubt you, my friend.
It's
You
okay.
you are correct.
Well, I'm almost level 1. I'm a rules advisor. Come on. I had
Definitely more.
the entire almost the majority of the of your rules exams are about layering now because of Oko and everything else.
Yeah, unfortunately, when the rules advisor, everyone started getting the rules advisor things. I was still in grad school, so
Right.
had to finish that first.
Right. There's an ensnaring bridge.
Oh, okay. How many cards in Prez's hand?
Probably
This so
2. No,
s-
actually, maybe more than that. It looks like that pile's got.
looks like three, two,
Okay.
three from cards in hand.
And he plays
Oh,
another painter. He takes.
okay.
He just tapped that ancient tomb, so he's going to take 2 more from that. So now everything is white, red, and blue in addition to their other colors.
So everything is Jeskai in addition to everything else.
Yep. And like munitions expert would be black also. So it's
Okay.
just missing green.
And we do see a Skirk Prospector eating it off of the
And I think Perez is actually
red.
at 13 because he tapped that ancient tomb, and I don't think his life total changed.
Yeah, messaging table spotter right now.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, they've got it fixed.
Okay, so really interesting here. So ensnaring bridge used to be very hard for goblins to deal with.
Sure.
Now, of course, just stacked with answers. Of course, we have the main board trash master,
Hmm.
but also we just have slinging lieutenant, which can just start slamming goblins in by draining them for one. And
Yeah.
honestly, this ensnaring bridge is pretty much just a road bump. That's it.
You know what would be great though is if he had his pyroblast, he could pyroblast that ensnaring bridge.
Y-
Just throwing that
yes,
out there.
yes, he could. I wonder if he did bring big brain and bring in the pyroblast.
That would be a killer moment because that's just one of those things with painter. Now that's the interesting thing is that's something a painter player actually takes into account with
Hmm.
because that's the same tricks that they do also. So I'd be willing to bet he is well aware, or Prez is well aware that that's a possibility. He just destroyed a mountain with a red elemental blast.
Yep. Yep, because that's one of the things that you can do when we're talking about Painter here.
Yep. And there's a lackey.
Yep.
So Prez has got 1 card in hand now.
So Prez has to empty his hand every single turn, which is
Correct.
not really that hard in a deck where like
No. He's got so
Painter.
much to do. The only problem is he relies heavily on his ancient tombs and his soul lands. Granted, a lot of the soul lands don't hurt him, but tombs, I've seen Prez take some pretty hefty amounts of damage just on tombs alone.
I agree. I have seen that as well. Okay. So we are seeing the engineer, which importantly, the engineer, unlike the welder, has gone to school and therefore he gets a tutor out and shares knowledge. That's how I remember the difference between the two.
Nice. So now Prez can play back and forth. He can get rid of the ensnaring bridge, and he can put the grindstone in.
Yeah. So, oh, importantly though, with the engineer, it does require an activation of 1 mana or 2 mana. I
And
can't remember. 1 mana. One red, sacrifice an artifact, return artifact card with a conversion cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the
Yep.
battlefield.
So that would basically
Yep.
be it. He's got enough mana and enough lands there. If he gets to untap here, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be it. So
What
he's trying
is?
to crater maker. Is he
I think
trying
he's
to?
trying to. No, he's trying to shock something. He's got to be
Yeah.
trying to shock something.
Yep. Well, that's the only thing he can do. He has to do that.
Oh, hold on. It looks like Prez. I think Prez might have gotten kicked out of. Yeah, I think Prez got kicked out of the chat. They're trying to figure out what's happening here.
Oh, looks like they're having audio issues. I gotcha.
Yeah. So, yep, looks like it was shocking the engineer and killing it, passing the turn.
Yep. Which he pretty much had to do at that given time because without that,
Oh,
it'd be
you
game
have
over
to.
right here. Yeah.
Exactly, you have to. Yeah, and with oh, man, so this is one top deck away. So also a welder does it. Let's see, welder does it. Another engineer does it.
Yep.
Karn does it.
Yep.
Karn can go and find
He's got a
another grindstone.
grindstone. He does not have a grindstone on his board, but he could have put one there if he brought Karn in.
He does. He does have one on his board.
Oh, does he still have the one? Okay.
Third down underneath the Tormod script.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There it is.
And
Gonna fetch.
I actually think even a Muxus does. Oh wait, no, he can't cast Mugs. I thought he still had the Skirk Prospector.
Even if he could cast it, he still has to get through the ensnaring bridge.
That's easy. Lieutenant or Trash Master.
Yeah, he's got to get
Both
there
those do it.
first. He could if he hit a matron, then he could go get.
Yeah.
Which that may be what he's got in his hand, because he's tapping 3 matrons 3.
Nope.
Nope,
Not ringleader.
that's a war marshal.
War Marshal. No. War Marshal is the one that echoes. I always mess these up. War Chief.
War chief, yeah.
War Chief. Oh man. Angry little green men all look the same.
I like the original printings though, because they all look like paintings that you'd see in a museum. There is a trash master on the field.
Oh.
Yep. So there goes the ensnaring bridge, and there comes the damage.
Here comes the little angry green men.
And those pile drivers just
are massive.
Just got huge, and they have pro blue, so he can't block them. So.
Yep, the pile drivers by itself is lethal. We're going to a game 3.
We're going to a game 3. So that
wow.
That was a awesome thing to see with the pile drivers. The fact that they sat on the battlefield, and that Prez played a third painter on blue. That ultimately is what lost him the game there.
Yes. It's the fact that those things were pretty much just mini Progenitus.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he swung with 6 goblins. They were both, I mean, they were huge. They were 12/12s in essence, or 12 1s, 12 2s.
Yeah, they were absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So, anything you changed up here for play versus draw?
I think on Prez's side, I like the fact that he brought the bolts in. I think I would leave the bolts, but you got to be a little bit more aggressive with them. Granted, he may have drawn them, may have not. He may have brought the surgicals in also in combination with the bolts to be able to bolt a lackey, surgical extract a lackey or whatnot. But he really needs to save those for the crater makers. And now that he saw a trash master, which we all knew was going to be there, that's probably he really needs to be able to save removal for that. But a trash master, that's a big boy. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, you're not just going to be able to get away with, if he's only got 1. That's maybe, because I don't think he's got any other pumping lords.
Yeah.
So a bolt would take 1 actually.
Yeah, bolt would definitely take 1.
Yeah, I agree. Surgical's not that great either. However, if you're able to take him off of one of his goblins, or he sacks a goblin for a Skirk Prospector, then at least you're able to see what he's got in his hand, plan ahead. That's one of the biggest things that I love about Surgical, is the fact that you see their hand. That gives you more information. But as far as stopping goblins from doing what goblins want to do, no, it's not a great card for trying to stop them from that. They've just got too many tools. But to take them off a matron, or then they can't tutor, take them off a lackey, take him off slinging lieutenant, that takes him off one of his win conditions. That can be a swing. But Prez is also running a really tight list. I think the looter scooters kind of backfired on him there. Actually, I don't think it did enough.
So, speaking of taking a look at your opponent's hand, I want to bring up some spoiler cards with you for the latest Commander Legends. As you know,
are you going to bring up
we have. Agent? Oh yes, I am bringing up Opposition Agent.
Okay.
And for those who haven't seen this card, I think this card is going to be bonkers. I think there's going to be something that's going to end up breaking in Legacy.
Yeah.
Because remember, Commander Legends is legal in Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So Opposition Agent, 2 and a black.
Yep.
Creature is a human, so therefore it's already playable.
Yep.
Flash, you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries.
Yep.
And while an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana zones of any color to cast them, and it's a 3/2.
Yep.
I think this card is definitely playable in Legacy.
I will guarantee you that as soon as this drops next week, I will have a mono black deck with opposition agents in it, and Gontis and hymns and everything else.
That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. I think this card is absolutely bonkers. I think the synergy with Scheming Symmetry is going to be actually
Huge.
really good.
I get 2 tutors. Thank you very much. I have a playset of Scheming
Yeah.
Symmetries that I've been sitting on waiting since M19 that just does nothing. They've done nothing. Or
Smart
M20.
man, because guess what they're at right now?
Who are they? Did they jump?
Oh, they jumped hard.
Did they really? Wow.
Oh,
I
they
haven't even been
jumped
paying attention.
hard.
I have like
Uh,
10.
they they used to be
They were
like
like
absolutely
yeah, they were like $2.
nothing. They're absolutely nothing. They're $5, $6 a piece now.
Oh, nice. Granted,
Yeah,
I'm not much of the finance kind of guy, but that's
yeah.
nice to know that my 8 or 9 scheming symmetries are worth more than because I got foils. I opened a bunch of like 3 foils. I'm like, neat.
Ooh,
Something I'll
yeah.
never play.
You're talking now $15 a pop.
Yeah. Yeah, Snoko plays everything though. Snoko
Yeah.
is like it's a
Snoko is one step above Nick Fit.
it kind of is, honestly. Nick Fit is like the good stuff deck, your bug good stuff. This Snoko
Mm,
is like every color good stuff.
5 color good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All with Uros, Okos, and Astrolabes. Okay, so that Pithy Needle is naming Grindstone.
And that's
So,
exactly what I would be naming with it. Although
mhm.
I'd be willing to bet we're going to see a Karn and he's going to wish he didn't do that.
Oh yeah, that that feels bad. But in the meantime, we do see an Imperial recruiter grabbing a painter.
Yep.
But I'm with you. I think Opposition Agent has a home in Legacy. I think it's gonna end up doing something. I've already been testing it out for like my wild ass scheming sort, not scheming, the Seagate
Seagate
Stormcaller
Stormcaller.
deck.
Yeah, your Esper
I've
Stormcaller deck.
Yeah, I've been taking a look at that in
Which
the
you got a shout
sideboard.
out on MTG Goldfish. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for the shout out. It felt really good, especially since Joe Dyer is like actually someone I look up to when it comes to writing articles.
Joe produces
So,
amazing content. You also
oh
produce
yeah,
amazing content. Joe has got a very large platform, and as we grow, our platform will continue to grow as well. So
oh yeah. I'm glad that everybody enjoys those articles, and been busy with work recently, but I'm gonna start pumping them out weekly again.
right.
Now that things have like a little bit slowed down a little bit.
And speaking of our format being legacy and being the legacy discord, we are the MTG paper legacy discord, and we actually just broke 1,600 members 3 weeks ago. We broke 1,500 members, and we just broke 1,600. So we are going fast, and for all of you guys watching and for all of you guys a part of that, that's all to you. That is all because of you, and that's why we do this. So thank you very much to all of you guys.
Yeah, thank you everybody who subscribes, who follows, who
Hmm.
just participates in the Discord and hangs out. Like we love doing this for all of you. And I remember, I mean, Beyonce Dix is well one of the early mods as well. But back when the Discord had like 25 of us just all hanging out in there, just talking shit about everything that's happening and the latest spoilers and stuff like that, and to see it grow like this it gives me a little tickle inside. It feels good.
Right. And I think we're pretty much we might be at the end of this round too, because Perez has got a grindstone, he's got a painter, and like Papa Smurf says, painter has more goblins on the field than goblins actually has right now, because
Yeah.
that pithing needle ate the crater maker's fate.
Ooh, we're seeing
Real
bowlers.
Chris
So good.
McLean. Thank you so much for the follow, bud.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Ooh,
Ooh,
okay. This game just
took a turn.
okay. This is gonna get weird.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so for those of us that are just joining, and we were thanking everybody. This interaction was we had. Oh, okay, so the Pithy Needle was in the graveyard. It seems off of the Crater Maker,
Yep.
and we saw an activation of the Grindstone and a response a Bolt. And with the response in the stack, we still saw a Welder activation,
Yep.
and then now we're seeing a Surgical hitting
In response to
the.
that.
Yeah. So
That is
okay. So
timing precision. That
so
is
here's the
timing
important
precision.
part with all this. We need to see if all four of Painter Servants are in the deck.
Yep. Because they're all 4 of them went.
Oh man,
But that's okay.
Karn, Karn can still get him.
Yep. That, and he's got, looks like he hit a Aether Vial and a Cavern off of that mill. So, but that is timing precision. That is exactly what he needed to do. Bolt, wait, let him activate, force him to activate, and then surgical in response.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was huge. That was very much. See, this is why I love Legacy, because you see these types of interactions, these type of large stacks, and these type of interactions you don't see in other places.
Hmm.
That can oftentimes turn the game. Like in
Right.
a game where you look like you're about to lose, and a very quick couple of interactive turns later, and boom, there you go, it's turned around.
Well, yeah, you got to be patient. I mean, and that's ultimately what a lot of players, I think, struggle with when they get into Legacy. They want to, Legacy, you are rewarded for knowledge, you're rewarded for your ability to tempo, your ability to be patient. Knowing your
Yes.
matchups, that is key for you guys that maybe standard players may have not actually played Legacy, or your commander players and have not played Legacy. Um, Legacy is an easy format to get into. It is a difficult format to master, but it is by far the most fun outside of Vintage or super, a lot of EDH games that you will ever play. There's more
Yes.
happening in a game of Legacy than a lot of other formats, and that says a lot. Legacy has
Yeah.
become such a popular format, especially over the last uh, 8 months. I mean, Legacy, everybody said Legacy was dead. And a lot of people still say that, but we're still here. Legacy's not dead. Not to us. Legacy is everything that we wanted and more.
I agree, and it's one of those things that the when it comes to legacy as a format, we can just look to things like Eternal Weekend,
Yeah.
which smashed records
Yeah, it sold
for
out.
attendance on MTGO.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
the
it,
last day sold out. I mean, that's awesome. Singing Tree 87, thank you so much for the follow.
really appreciate it. Thank you,
Absolutely.
helping promote Eternal Magic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Matron, he is tutoring right now. He did let his War Marshal go with the Echo, and there's a Trash Master.
Ooh, I mean, well, it's understandable. We were expecting Trash Master is going to be the biggest card of this deck.
Yep.
Like it is the most important card by far, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things that Prez really needed to go off at that exact moment. So Prez just needs to find a card and needs to find a card fast
Yeah, he does need it
because
now because he's going to be the beatdown plan's about to start with that Trash Master. Alpha 3647, thank you so much for the follow.
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for promoting Eternal Magic. Yeah, and it's one
Press.
of those things. I agree. Tighter Promise Perfect. Like, look, I've lost to bad beats before. I have lost to Turbo Depths where they hard cast Elvish Spirit Guide and beat me down to death with it.
Right. Yeah. I play
And you know
mono
what?
black
It happens.
reanimator depths. This is like my favorite thing. I played Infect for years. I've played multiple legacy decks, Death and Taxes. This mono black reanimator depths thing has got so much odd complexity in the things that it can do. It blows my mind, and it started as a budget reanimator mono black deck. I mean, it's awesome. I love it to death.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's amazing about Legacy. It's a brewer's format.
Yeah.
This is the only format where you can brew some wild ass stuff and bring it to a tournament and actually do well with it if you know what you're doing and you know how to play a deck and if you know and put in the time. It's it's a great format for people who just want to take the time to innovate, to change things, to look at an archetype or a new card and say, I can do something with this.
Right.
This is something I can do.
Absolutely. And that goes a
Yeah.
long way. It helps build your confidence and your pride.
Yeah.
You're playing something that you have mastered. You're playing something that you built, that you took the time and learned everything about. That's my favorite part about it.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen when it comes to brewing, check out our YouTube page over
Yeah.
at MTG Paper Legacy, YouTube, and check out my replay of the Esper Seagate Stormcaller list that I built. It's super fun, and if you like some wild stuff, it's a fun deck to play.
It's the most sickening cabal therapies you'll ever see.
Hey, I had some sick blind names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I agree. But you get that from playing the format too, your knowledge there.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
this is gonna be some pain here.
I
That's
think that's almost a lethal swing. Is okay. So we're seeing probably okay. Let's check with our table spotter.
Well, those are all four. They're all going to be
Cash
two
Trashman.
twos. So
So looks like Prez is trying to grindstone himself.
yeah, in response.
Oh,
Oh, so we can
okay.
get a looter scooter. He's gonna,
Looter Scooter.
yeah, he's gonna split those. Get the looter scooter, crew it, and block. Yeah, I do agree. Playing against 4 forces and 4 force negations. That's, it's unfortunate that there are decks out there that do that, but at the same time too, they kind of have to do that to be competitive. There are, smaller creature tempo based decks that do it. Even Snowco doesn't usually run that many.
Yeah,
It's usually Delver.
I believe me, I understand the pain when it comes to force negation. My secondary deck that I picked up is Ant, and you want to talk about a deck that loses hard to force negation?
Right. Yeah.
Talk about emptying your hand to a Lion's Eye Diamond and putting all your baskets in a Pass in Flames.
Yeah. No, I totally
Ugh,
understand there. There's another welder. And looks like that Perez was able to survive. He's got him down to 5 life now by
yeah.
blocking a matron.
Yeah, that pump that Trash Master has. The fact that it can nuke artifacts
Mm-hmm.
and is also an anthem and a 3/3, that's pretty freaking good
Yeah,
for a goblin.
that's fantastic. I mean, and I remember when Goblin Trashmaster came out, that was like the Goblin world was just like, hell yeah, here we go.
Oh yeah.
We can sack a Goblin, destroy an artifact. It would, I think it was the same set, right around the same time that Skirk Prospector got his reprint and Chain Whirler came. Goblins was well on its way to the top, or to being
Yeah.
far more competitive than what it was.
That's when I started building Legacy like seriously. Actually, was when I was around that time. I remember seeing it. I was like, "Oh wow, that's gonna make goblins actually really good." And sure enough, it was played as a one of and two of. Just I mean, it's a free anthem.
Right.
It is. It's right where you want to be on curve with a goblin because you really want your curve toppers being 4 and 5 mana. That's the reason why they've dropped Sling Gang Commander for Sling Gang Lieutenant, the
Yeah.
one mana cheaper, and it also just like wins certain matchups. It also improves your worst matchups, being Chalice of the Void decks,
Right. Right. Absolutely. And
and
I
it's
think,
main deckable.
yeah, exactly. I think Prez is in a bad spot here because Slinging Lieutenant's going to probably finish him off.
Yeah, Sling Gang Lieutenant. Yeah, this is game. You just sack the rest of your board.
Yeah. Drain him out. And there they go.
Man, that was wild.
Right.
Oh, is Prez gonna go out on his own terms?
He tapped his Ancient Tombs,
Ancient Doom.
he's grinding himself. See if he can catch something in response. Nope, he's going to scoop.
Nope. Yeah, good games,
Yeah.
and looks like Champagne's taking this one. And so far tonight, the challengers are just taking down the mods one by
One by
one.
one, picking them apart. That's what it's all
Oh
about, right?
man. This is great to see. The player base of the Discord has really stepped up since we started doing this, and wow, that was crazy to see.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're gonna take a
Oh,
quick break here and get set up for round number 3, and we'll have a new co-commentator here. Beyonce Disc is gonna go back to being behind the scenes,
yeah.
and we'll see you all in just a little bit.
Yeah, and thank you to all you guys for watching. Again, ! Discord in the chat. We'll get you a link to Discord. Please come hang out with us. Like Doc said earlier in round 1, we are your local meta. It's dangerous out there. There's a lot of stores that are not having any paper magic, and nobody wants to go out and, be a danger to those that are around them or their family and get sick, ill, injured, anything. So I
Exactly.
appreciate all of you guys that have hung out with us, and all of you guys that put in for our Saturday weekly challenges, for our Tuesday Legacy Fight Nights, all of the events we do, the league that we've got going on right now. With 64 players, which is awesome for our league, and it all leads up to our invitational. So thank you very much. You guys are the heroes. So we'll be back with round 3, and Prez will be in my spot, and I'll be back to just running the stream. So the life totals will be more accurate. See you guys.